got along pretty good. And then I got married.
Mom, tell them about your father. Didn't you take care of your father?
Oh yeah, when my father got sick, I was working for a nurse in the hospital, to be a nurse. Well, my father got sick, and I had to leave the hospital and go home and nurse him. Well, but he died.
He did. What did he die of?
Huh?
What did he die of?
Cancer.
Uh-huh.
My father died with cancer, but he never knew it. I held it back from him. He said he'd never want to know what was wrong, and I wouldn't tell him.
How old was your father?
My father was about 38-year-old when he died.
Didn't he own a bar when he was in, did he own a bar?
No, my grandfather owned a farm in Ireland.
Yeah, but didn't your father have a bar too?
No, he had a what they call it?
Oyster house? Oyster house, was it?
An oyster house in Shando. And it was on Main Street. And he got along very well. But then he got another job. He was put air down the mines.
Uh-huh.
He had to put air down the mines to the miners.
Okay, how about your grandfather? Didn't he used to take care of you?
Oh, my grandfather and I got along so good together. We'd walk over the hill to church. He wouldn't miss a day of Sunday from church. And we'd have to walk over the hill. And we'd go over and he'd get lost in storms. One time he did get lost in a storm. And we had to go look for him. In Shander.
Didn't he used to say the rosary going up the steps in Gaelic?
And he'd lay in front of the fire and he'd talk in Irish to me. And he wanted me to learn Irish. And he'd go up the steps and nobody could go up the middle of the steps. He'd say his prayers on the middle of the steps before he went up. Before he got in bed, he'd say his prayers. And nobody could pass him, and he'd say his prayers.
What was the name of Aunt Lolly's children and her husband's name?
Mary Ellen and Karen. Her husband's name.
Yeah.
Anna Flaherty.
No, her husband's name. What was her husband's name?
Karen.
Okay. Did she have a little girl that died?
Huh?
Didn't she have a little girl that died? And Lolly have a little girl that died?
Yeah, Anna.
She died.
She died.
Yeah.
And she loved me. We went up to the funeral. You were only a baby. And she had little girls that died. She had infantile paralysis. She got that was just going around then.
Yeah.
And she died. And then she had Catherine and Karen.
Where is your father and your mother buried?
In Shando.
Right in Shenandoah.
Shando.
How about Aunt Lolly?
In Shando, in Monty City. Because Karen was from Coles, and they buried in Monty City. And he was buried there, and she was buried there.
How about Dad's mother? Is she buried up in Ashland Cemetery? No, Dad.
Yeah, she's buried up in Ashland.
Your husband's, Grandma Connors. Is she up in Ashland?
She's in Gordon.
No, she's in Ashland.
Ashland, well that's Gordon Cemetery.
Oh, I see.
It's called Gaughn. It's right outside of Ashland.
Well, she had Nate had a
Gordon.
brother and sister.
Hmm?
Nate had a brother and sister.
They died.
When,
Ashland.
how old was
He's
Nate?
Huh?
and
How old-
Grandpap Connors is buried there too.
How old were you when your brother and sister died?
Oh, I was only small. Well, my sister died before.
In confinement? Or your
No, my father,
your brother did?
no, my mother died in confinement.
And
She died, James was the boy lived, but she died.
and how long did he live for?
He lived for about 2 months, and he died.
How about your sister?
Well, my sister died when she was only about 3 weeks old. She was only a baby when she died.
How old was Nate?
How old were you?
Well, I was only 3-year-old when my mother died.
So she was, she was.
I don't even have a picture of her.
Yeah.
No.
So listen, where did you meet Grant?
I met him in the hospital. He came to see his Ed. Ed was hit with a sleigh. A sleigh ran between his legs. I cut him. And I met him in the hospital. And he come in at 12 o'clock at night. And oh, Ed was in such pain. And he just went to sleep, Ed. And I wouldn't let him wake him up. And he got mad at me. And he sat outside. I said, you can sit there till he wakes up. I'm not waking him up. And I put him in the restroom. And I said, sit here until he wakes up, and then I'll call you. And I did. And oh, Ed was so glad that I didn't, he had such pain. Oh, he was terrible. He was terrible. He was sliced. The sleigh went right between his legs. It was terrible.
They
And,
got all right then.
oh, yeah. I used to sit on. I wouldn't go off on my hours at night because they were changing shifts, and we'd go to one ward to relieve and then the other, and I'd sit. I'd come down from upstairs, and I'd see that he got his medicine and stuff. And okay, I'd see that I got everything.
How many brothers did
Huh?
How many brothers did Grandpa have?
Only I didn't have no brothers.
No, your husband. Dad.
Oh, he had, well, I see, he had a lot of brothers. He had Ed, and then one in Ed and
Vince.
Vince.
Vince. We had Vince. Vincent.
Vincent
Tom.
and Tom and Earl. Earl is the baby.
And Ed.
And Catherine is dead, and Mary is dead.
He had a couple of more brothers though, didn't he? Some that died.
He had, then he had a sister that died, Margaret.
Okay, and how
He had
about?
a sister that died too.
And then one brother left home, didn't he? And he left home, and Grandma Connors never.
Oh, he left home. That was the oldest brother, Tom. Oh, what was his name?
Joe. Joe.
No, it wasn't Tom. Tom
Joe.
Joseph, yeah. And he found out where he was. It was around Allentown or someplace, and they went to see him. Well, he come home then, and it wasn't. He got hurt.
Well, didn't Grandma Connors grieve for him? She always missed him because
Yeah,
she missed him.
she always missed him and always wanted him.
And he
And,
just left home, and
then
she
he
always
died.
wondered where he was, and she put out search parties to try to find him. And she did finally find him the one time, and they got a meeting, but then there was something wrong with him, and he just disappeared again. But she finally did catch up with him, and she had people looking for him. He left when he was very young, and she grieved for him.
What was she like?
She was only a tiny little woman. She reminds you of Mary, small as Mary. And all her boys were all 6 foot, big tall men. But
Do we have any pictures of her?
Well, you know,
Yeah,
Agnes
I think I have
Masterson's,
one. Picture of her. If I get through the things, I'll show you. I only
I've
have
seen
one
her.
picture. Yeah. She would wear her hair back like this. Very jolly little woman. They go fight her. She raised all those children.
well, my father had twins
When?
through my stepmother, but both of them died.
But you had one stepsister that lived.
Yeah, Evie, this one stepsister.
Annie, wasn't her name Annie?
And Annie and Evie.
That-
Evie was her, she had her before she got married from her other husband, Tidyback.
What was her name?
Evie Tidyback.
What was your
My
grand?
father's Gaughn.
Yeah. Your father's name's Gaughn. What was your mother's maiden name?
Mary Ann Leonard.
Mary Ann Leonard. Did they come over from Ireland?
Mm-hmm.
They came over from Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't born here.
I
In
don't
America.
think so. No.
Your grandfather
No,
came
my
over.
grandfather was, and my father was born in Ireland.
Whereabouts in Ireland?
Huh?
Whereabouts?
I think it was Galway,
Galway. Uh-huh.
because they used to, you're a Mayo, they say, and a bunch of them would be organ at a wake or something. Well, you were a Mayo, or you were far down. You were, I'm a Galway, my father. I'm a Galway. You come from Northern Ireland. I came from Donegal. At the wakes it was funny. That table would be set. It started at 10 o'clock. That table would be going all night.
You know what you meant
They'd
by
come in.
table.
Yeah.
And it'd be
Set that up.
one gang after the other. Now they don't do it now. And then they'd have clay pipes like you have there in the thing. And miner's extra tobacco. The miner's extra, it came in a blue bag. And you'd have to keep the pipes filled with the miner's extra tobacco. Oh, I used to hate it. Yeah. And the pipes would be full. And then the tables would be set. We'd be cooking all day for midnight snacks. They don't do it now.
Mom, how old was it when your grandfather died?
Me?
No, yeah, how old were you and how old was your grandfather?
Oh, my grandfather was about, I don't think he knew his age.
Okay.
Oh, he was the best looking guy ever that see in the pump. He used to have a pump of white hair, waves down. And he was the best worker. They worked in the mines, and I can remember him say they only got 25 cents an hour in the mines. And my father worked in the mines, and then he went in business
Mom, didn't your father lose his leg?
in the mines. He lost his leg in the mines. It was, hit him. Something hit him, a sprag or something, and he got infection in it. And the doctor had just left. My grandfather, was so mad. They used to have to come over the mountain, the doctors. You know, we lived over in the mountain.
Robert, whereabouts? What
Huh?
town? What town did you live in? What was the name of the town?
Shando.
Yeah.
Shando.
I was born in Maple Hill, right?
You were born Maple Hill, and Rosemary was born in William Penn. And I was born in Lanigan's.
And they called those places patches, didn't they?
And
That's what they
Ashland.
Do they have
Dad
any
was
pictures
born
of
in
her father or
Ashland. It's
grandfather?
all little
pictures?
towns here and there.
grandmother, yeah.
You'd go from one town to another.
Those days they didn't. I mean, some
And
days,
I was born in Maple Hill. She was born Maple Hill.
no.
Maple Hill.
Mhm.
Well, sometimes we could take a ride up that way, and I'll show you where it was born.
Mhm.
You know, we went back there. We went up to the coal mine that Grandpa worked in when he was 12-year-old. The Ashland mine.
Grant worked in the coal mines too?
Yeah, when he was 12-year-old. See, he never went to school. He went to the second grade.
Mhm.
And he had to go out to work because his father, wasn't Gramps' father supervisor for the, for an insurance company or something? Wasn't your dad, your husband's father in the insurance business?
Oh, yeah. He had a big job.
He was a big supervisor,
Oh, he was very bright.
but he died.
He was
What
the
time-
supervisor of the Prudential.
How old was he when he died?
Oh, he wasn't old because Grandpa and Mom had a raise that all the kids were small.
She
And
bought
I
her
can
house.
remember her saying she had to work for 50 cents an hour and she'd bring the pay home, the 50 cents, and they'd go out and buy food. And they were all they were about there, I think 8
She had lots
kids.
of 8, 10 children.
The father got hit with a car. He went to behind. They were railroad behind Grandma's, and he jumped off this train. There used to be a train after he got off the car. Jumped the train, and the train passed Grandma's up on the hill, and he fell.
Oh.
And he hurt his back, and it never got well. He never got well.
And she raised the children and even bought her own house up in Ashland. But we went with Patricia and Cliff and all.
But the grandma had it hard.
We rode up there one time, not to Ashland, but to her house, because I don't know, can't remember where the house was, but it was in Ashland. But we did go in the coal mine. The Grant went to work in the coal mine, 12-year-old. When he went to work for the